What we have so far is chords that have caught my attention of a direction that I want to pursue. I probably could get more from resampling the original source. I mean, there's the guitar, the front end of the guitar. So now I'm hearing it, I do want to resample it again. I really love this Tau chorus. It is a clone of Juno chorus from the old Juno synths. So what I'm going to do is take that bit, the rendered version, that could function as a sort of lead on top of the chords that we've got. So what I'll do is render each one of them. So you see again, we get a little bit of tail from the reverb. I could reverse that and there'd be a little bit of information there. I didn't go too heavy on the reverb though, so it's not going to be a big long tail like I made with some of the others. And the way that I've rearranged everything, it might be that we use them just here and here, probably with loads more processing as well. For now, I'm just going to put these with the other guitar chords. But if we play the forwards and the backwards, I know that's going to sound really nice. What I'm going to try and do now is add in as many other sounds as I can until the point where I can kind of hear where it's going to go. I'm going to work with this loop so I can see what works with the second chords more quickly. I'm not searching for anything in particular. I'm not looking for a piano, a trumpet, a strings. I just want to follow instincts again and find more sounds that excite me. I could go into a drum and bass pack and look for drum and bass sounds in D flat, but I prefer to browse by key. So at the moment, I'm going in my likes, which is stuff I've already identified. I want to build up the palette of sounds before I try and do anything else. There's that chord that's nice. It works really well. And then we've got these two. Oh, there we go, that's nice though. So I shifted them around. What I'm going to do is load Alchemy. And that is a nice sound as well, actually. And I want to make this just into a big wash of reverb. I think I'm going to just put this over everything because we can get kind of the root chord as a drone. Should work with everything. I don't want you to really notice that it's starting. It still has quite a distinctive attack, so I'm going to just put more reverb on it. That's good, that's what I want. So I'll bounce enough of it that we never hear the start. Should be able to make something out of that, where if I put that backwards and put it at the end, we'll rise up, just put some reverb on this one so it drifts off. Right, so there's two bits I like about this. The first chord is cool, and then this part. I really like how big the last note is. I'm gonna replicate it, so we've got 8 bars of that. Not every sound is going to go with every sound. That's okay as well. I'm not trying to finish and arrange a song yet. I'm just trying to give myself more possible parts to use. Just a little bit of a tail on it as well. The idea is that we've got the chord looping underneath the harmony. There's drive and energy coming from this little arp loop, and it also is rooting the harmony around it. You're looping the root chords and it creates tension. These are all parts played in the key that I'm working in. The whole idea of where I'm using splice and browsing is that everything's going to work harmonically. I'm just trying to layer up the sound to see how they work together when I get ready to arrange the song. These things are kind of cool sometimes, a song starter, I swear. It's basically an entire loop of song. So I'm going to use the flex tool just to move this a little bit. So I'm creating loads of elements that are fixed rather than following the chord progression. It's interesting to hear the chords happen underneath them, so let's try that out. I'm going to clear the bottom out of this one a bit because I want the chords to have space to breathe in the bottom. loopy things, but I do want stuff that's more hooky. But it's not perfectly looped in time at all. It's a different tempo. And what you get is interesting sort of polyrhythm. This one is going to need to go in time. It's almost right anyway, so put it as 8 bars. I'm going to cut that into every 2 chords and see if I can swap them over like I did with one of the other chord elements. Quite often what I'll do is build an intro like this and then sort of resample it again. That feels like that's my main event now. And if we want this to fit with the longer chords, the Ghost, that's chord 1, 1, 1, and then it's still the 2. So I could do that if I choose to use these Ghost chords more. So yeah, I can keep browsing by similar, which is trying to give me stuff that will fit both in terms of style and key. The only thing I'm looking for now is stuff that doesn't have as much low because the low is quite full already. If you end up with loads of things, chords playing in the same area, they will become indistinct. And I'm more worried about it musically just being a mess rather than being too worried about how it sounds mix-wise at the moment. Yeah, so there we've got our 3 chords in a completely different form. This one I want it to wash even more, so I'm going to put delay on so the timing is less noticeable. We've got really, really strong foundation, but ultimately it's just 3 chords with some looped RP stuff. So now I need something that is a bit different. Right now what I'm interested in is finding some sort of vocal, some sort of a real hook that is memorable. I'm literally going to browse female vocals in D flat minor. Right, so this is a vocal pack. So what I'm looking for is probably to build a little composite hook from a few parts.
This is how I feel.
I like that it's already a bit processed.
This is how I feel.
So now I've got a little collection of vocal parts that I can work with. Just going to put this into a load of reverb. I wanted it to be washy and distant. It is washy and distant. It's done. So I'm going to build like a backing vocal part and then build a vocal hook around it.
So weak.
Don't want it to be too thick, so just pulling that out really aggressively. Now I'm going to delay it, a ping pong delay, so it bounces side to side. I'm going to try putting some of the clean vocals into this chain. I'm going to put it here. I just moved the edge of the song so I can hear that at the start like that. So those 2 I'm going to come back to. With dance music, you don't necessarily need a whole lyric. Just a hook often works just as well.
Thirsty, I know that you want
With vocals, I tend to put them each on their own line. Makes it easier to manage and you can label them with what they are.
This is how I feel and I can't stop.
I've got my chords, I've got some drones, I've got some more rhythmic RP stuff that will be useful, and I've got a vocal hook. So those are all the components I need to build around. So now that I've got all these parts, I feel pretty confident that I can drum and bassify it, and now it'll be about making drums and bass that suit it.